Former world champion Veselin Topalov cruised to victory in round 1 of the Gibraltar Masters against India's young talent Sankalp Gupta. Veselin joins us in our studio to tell us where the Indian went wrong. Veselin, a good start today against a promising youngster from India. Pleased with the way the game went?
Well, what happened that I kind of prepared this line, and I've already been played like this in the past until the 11th move. But then I believe b6 is kind of better, and this is what my opponent played 6 years ago in Tromsø. But well, this is kind of more or less almost forced until now, and my laptop was claiming white is better. After rook d5.
So this was all part of your preparation until rook d5?
It has been played for sure until f5, and then there's some other moves except taking. But taking is critical. And now, of course, black has 2 moves, but I believe that also knight g4 is losing a pawn, and white claims to be better. I don't know what is better for black now, but certainly this position is better for white, because I believe b5 was, well, b5 was supposed to be not the best move. I'm not sure about what I did, but I only remember that my laptop was claiming that best for black was to play like this.
Bishop to b4.
Yeah. And then once I take, okay, white is still better, but apparently it was better for black than the move b5. And here I don't know, f4. The thing is that, for example, what I planned here was that if bishop d8, I was planning to go like this. Oops.
Let me just get it for you. Bishop to c5, rook e8. Yeah. Okay, just. You
and
can
then
just try
my
it.
original idea was, I think, to put my either I believe here.
But then rook c, and he has to go rook c8 here.
And now, if he takes, well, sorry.
No. He can take, right? Because this is a nice line.
Yeah,
because
take,
if you,
take,
it's not really hanging
and now
because
maybe
of
b4 is also a possibility, for example.
Yes.
But and I'm kind of attacking, but. Maybe what I missed was that for example, if white plays bishop d6 here, instead of in this position, if I go bishop d6
just rook e8
here, then I don't know, rook a7, and then maybe take, and I was thinking that maybe I go with the knight to e4 to dominate, but maybe this position is not that clear. Black has some chances, maybe. Well, but anyway, this was probably the critical move, because after rook b8, somehow it looks like white is dominating, because he has the move knight d4. And I believed that the best option for black was here to take, to return the exchange and take the pawn, but I thought it was still much better for white.
Let me just, yeah.
And then.
So back rank problem, so you can't take on
and
b6.
My idea was to save, to keep the other bishop also.
Yeah.
And I think black is pawn up for the moment, but knight on h1 is very much in trouble, and I believe this is an advantage. But what happened? Well, final position still it's not so easy, I believe, but it's a huge advantage for white, because. Not only that I have 2 pieces for a rook, but also I believe also positional advantage. So it was more or less an advantage out of the opening, and I'm not sure about the move bishop d3 here.
This was over the board, bishop d3.
Yes,
it's
I also considered something else, like, but it looked to me that rook d1. And then f4 and bishop moving to g1. I also consider other moves, but I thought that this was like finally. Okay, of course, white can play g3 and then bishop g2, but I didn't want my opponent to exchange the rooks, and of course I didn't want to give him 2 pawns, so I played for the maximum.
And the problem for black from after taking the exchange was this knight on h1 from the start is just stuck in the position.
Of course, yeah. Otherwise, but it all depends on 110p, you know. So, well, you know, this is modern chess. Both we have computers, and but of course, from my perspective, even if somehow black holds, it looks to me that it doesn't make sense to go to this position straight out of the opening.
Talking about the opening, were you aware that when you went queen f2, Sam had actually played this position earlier in 2019 against Korea and he had gone h4? Had you seen this game?
Yeah, but it's somehow, I believe that black's plan is to play b5, b4, and then place the knight on e4. And of course, if I, for example, after b5, I think if I go now queen f2, then I believe that, for example, b4 is not a good move because black takes on d5, but I believe there are some games with the move knight a4. And there's, well, it is maybe still possible, but somehow I believe that what I did was better.
Right, and it worked out well for you in the end now. I remember when the pairings came out yesterday, you were slightly worried about who you were playing because it's always difficult to play these youngsters.
Oh yeah, definitely. The times with easy first rounds in opens are over. So even now and okay, it's also true that Gibraltar is extremely strong open, and it's normal in a way. But of course, I've been playing many years ago opens, in the beginning of the 90s, and it was nothing compared to what is now. And the general level is really high now.
Also of players who are 2300, 2400, they're putting up a real fight.
Oh yeah, I mean, then when I was playing these kind of players, they were at least they were very much inferior in the opening preparation, I believe, and now it's almost level.
And for a player of your level going into an open first round, what is the approach to the preparation for the first round?
Well, obviously I've been looking at my opponent's games. I just had to choose whether should I go d4 as first or e4, and finally I believe that this line was giving me more chances to get an opening advantage. That was it. And
Veselin, before the tournament started, you had a seminar with Elizabeth Pats for the players here. Tell us a little bit about that experience. Well, it's the first time
I'm teaching, first time. I've never given any kind of lessons, not to kids, So in a way, she was really well prepared. She's done it many times, and she knows what kind of position to show exactly. But for me, it was a bit more intuitive because while she was showing some position, I could remember important games, so I was also intervening. But I'm kind of satisfied because after the seminar, 2 of our guys played Karpov, and 3 of our students played, and 2 made draw. So very satisfied with the way the training went then. I believe it was very useful for them. And how is it to come back to Gibraltar for you? No, it's good, but of course I'm a bit worried because again it's with such a high rating, it's a risk, obviously, because really I still remember what happened to Vichy some years ago when he lost so many points, and one has to be really concentrated again from the first round, but it's also that it's different type of chess compared to the events I normally play. I mean, for example, last year I've played several knockout events and mainly against Maxime, but preparation is different. When we played some top guy, we were very happy with just getting a slight plus out of the opening and maybe play without risk. That's like the perfect situation, but in open it's different.
The risk is high, but it also must be interesting to come when you don't know who you're going to play against, the novelty and the unpredictability of the Open.
Yeah, exactly. And what I like is actually that somehow, for sure, I'll play many my opponents for first time in my life. So for me, it's a change and also a challenge.
Well, a challenge, but this was a good start. We wish you all the best for tomorrow. Get some rest.
Thank you.
Thank you, Veselin.